Hello, people. Me again. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good. We're excellent. What? Good morning. What's up? Sitting here messing with y'all. Alright. What are we talking about? What's up, Tech for Gamers? What's up, Twig Town? And WCCF Tech? What's happening? Alright. Got this little article here from Tech for Gamers here. Talking about the Activision Blizzard merger approved in Taiwan ahead of deadline. Look. The FTC, the CMA, and the UK, they never had a case. They tried to make this case about a high performance console market, and they were trying to treat Nintendo like the middleman. They were trying to take them out of the picture and then focus on Sony and Microsoft. But then once they took Nintendo out the picture, now they want them to testify. And then you're telling Microsoft they're not being transparent enough. Then the CMA in the UK now, they have to sit there and watch the FTC lose in court. Then the CMA in the UK now backpedals and say, "Oh, our decision is not based on the FTC." Then you got then Microsoft had the leak. Then you got Lena Khan doing another investigation. To me, she's clout chasing now. Then Microsoft got Ubisoft involved by giving them the streaming rights. But then Ubisoft got issues they got to deal with because they have games that they need to get out, like Beyond Good and Evil 2 that's been taking forever to be made. Then you got the Skull and Bones situation where directors is walking off the project. So it's like, when is this game going to come out? They just had a closed beta back in August. Okay. Then you got a situation with Ubisoft and Tencent. We don't know what's going to transpire from that. I think they got like 300 million from Ubisoft got like 300 million or something like that from Tencent. So yeah, that's another situation. So Microsoft giving Ubisoft the streaming rights, and then you got Ubisoft walking around with their chest out now, talking about cloud streaming, like they supported the idea from day one. This was all Microsoft driving the issue, trying to drive the point. You got Sony. They claim they didn't want a 10-year deal or a 3-year deal or a 5-year deal. They wanted the deal blocked. But after the CMA, after the FTC lost, they changed their tune. It was so much stuff going on, man. It's like the CMA and the UK now. CMA opened another investigation. UK got a decision to make in about 9 more days from now on the 18th. So yeah, this is where we are. So. And now you got Taiwan approving the deal. The deal was already approved by like 40 plus countries. You know, when this whole thing started, it was just who? It was just Microsoft, Activision. It was just the shareholders, the employees. You only had 4 countries. I think you had Chile, Saudi Arabia, Brazil. Who else? And Serbia. Those were the 4 countries. But now 40 plus countries up towards the deal. So it's like, yeah. They need to close this thing and get over with. Me personally, I don't know why Microsoft got Ubisoft involved in this. But to me, I would have said Microsoft should have those 10-year contracts that Microsoft gave up. They should have followed through on those deals and making sure that everybody get their games, and then use that to go at the UK. So yeah, this is where we are though. But other than that, man, Taiwan approving the deal, that's cool. But we already got about 40 plus different countries already approved the deal already. So yeah, Taiwan is just another country to add to the list. So yeah. They never really had a case here. They never really had a case. Because from the very beginning, like, Once they took Nintendo out the picture, they lost the case right then and there. Everything was downhill after that. And then you had the CMA and the FTC doing cross border communication. The European Commission already supports Microsoft on this, so yeah. This deal does need to be closed and to get this time for the game industry to move on. And then another thing too, they try to talk about the lesson of competition. That statement was a joke. The lesson of competition. So Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard doesn't stop anything. Just to give everybody a heads up. The game Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard doesn't stop the game industry. It doesn't stop developers from making any kind of game. Just to elaborate more on the situation. Sony had just did their presentation of the show that they just did, and they showed a game called Helldiver. Helldiver is just Anthem without suits. That's all it is. Because basically you're doing this. They look like they're doing the same identical thing. The only difference between Helldiver and Anthem is that they don't have a suits they can fly around in. Because if they try to do that, then they're copying Anthem. That's the only difference. So, Helldiver just showed that the game industry don't stop. It doesn't. Microsoft buying Activision doesn't stop competition. Cloud gaming is about infrastructure. That's all it is. Cloud gaming is all about having an infrastructure to support cloud gaming. And Nintendo been in the console gaming long enough. They should have had a cloud infrastructure up since the Nintendo 64. But they took the video game industry for granted. Sony should have had a cloud infrastructure up since, I would say, between PlayStation 2 and 3. Just saying. You got 7 to 8 billion people on the earth. You got to be moving. So, other than that, man, cloud gaming is about infrastructure. That's all it is. You got to have an infrastructure in place. I mean, the CMA blocking the deal when they put a block on the deal. They were just giving Sony 10 years to come up with a cloud infrastructure to compete with the likes of Microsoft. That's all that first block that they did. So, cloud gaming is about infrastructure. Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard doesn't stop anything. Studios are being made every day. Different people come together, form studios, and they start making games. So this Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard doesn't stop anything. What Sony should have done though was this. Sony missed out on an opportunity because look, when AT&T had our Rocksteady, I think it was Rocksteady, WB, and NetherRealms on the table for about $5 billion. Sony should have jumped at that. Sony should have been like, you know what? Okay, fine. You guys buying Activision Blizzard? Okay, fine. We'll take your 10-year deal, as long as we can keep on renewing it. That's what Sony should have done. Take that deal, but then go at go at AT&T and purchase Rocksteady, NetherRealms, and WB Games for $5 billion, because Rocksteady and WB makes Batman games, and that would have made Sony in control of Sony and that would have made Sony control have exclusive rights to Batman and Spider-Man. They missed out on that. So yeah, that was a missed opportunity. $5 billion. Need to snatch that up. That was on the table from AT&T because AT&T was trying to clean house. So yeah, but what AT&T did was restructure it, and I think Discovery got it. I think got the deal instead. So yeah, Batman was on the table for sale, $5 billion, and Sony sitting there trying to fight Microsoft over Call of Duty What they should have done was take the 10-year deal. Okay, we'll take your 10-year deal, but Sony should have went after AT&T for that deal that they had on the table, and they would have had exclusive rights to every Batman game that came out. They missed out on that. So other than that, man, this deal needs to be closed, because cloud gaming is about infrastructure. It's really about infrastructure, you know. So that's all. So it's Nintendo's responsibility to have their cloud gaming infrastructure in place. It's Sony's responsibility to have their cloud gaming infrastructure in place. It's not Microsoft. So Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard really doesn't stop competition. Okay, it doesn't stop first-person shooters from being made. It doesn't stop adventure games from being made. Whatever games that Activision Blizzard have under their belt, those games don't stop anything. Any studio that's being developed can make a game similar to it. Doesn't stop anything, man. So to me, this CMA in the UK dragging this all out is like, it's like a waste of time, to tell you the truth. They really didn't have anything. Okay, and now all they were doing was trying to protect Sony. But Sony and Nintendo now should have had a cloud infrastructure up since the Nintendo 64 GameCube years. I mean, Nintendo should have had their infrastructure up since the GameCube Nintendo 64 years. Sony should have done it between PS2, PS3. Just saying. So cloud gaming is about infrastructure. That's all it is, you know. And that's where we're headed. So yeah, they should have had that stuff up. You know, it's just Microsoft, you know. So yeah, and then to me, I would say Ubisoft. You know, they need to get their act together, man. You know, because you got games that need to be made that needs to get out, and they need to be made. You know, I mean, what, Beyond Good and Evil 2? That game should have been out. You got the Division 3 to work on. You got Skull and Bones to work on. So yeah, you know, Microsoft. To me, Microsoft should have what you call it? Like, I know there was 10-year deals, and then use that to go at the CMA. Just saying. Other than that, man, this is just being drawn out. Like I told you, this was just an endurance game, and just being drawn out. But you know, really, the CMA, the UK, they really didn't have a case. It was all made up, you know. It was all made up, you know. So yeah. But other than that, another day in life in the life of video games. Anyway, listen to this. Listen to that. What is this? Says here, this from Tech for Gamers, by the way. Says here, Microsoft 68.7 billion merger with Activision Blizzard will receive the green light in over 40 countries, and with the CMA presenting one last hurdle. However, with each passing day, the CMA approval appeared more likely, since the regulators has already provided a provisional clearance. Last week, reports claim Microsoft was ready to close the deal on October 13th, quickly approaching the conclusion of nearly 2 years of effort. Ahead of the date, the gaming giant has received another nice surprise. Following several approvals, Taiwan has joined the list of countries in favor of the deal. Why it matters, the approval highlights the most regulators do not see much wrong with Microsoft acquisition, despite controversies surrounding the buyout. The UK, the CMA, the FTC, they never had a case. Because to me, the biggest mistake once they tried to get it going, when they took Nintendo out that picture and tried to treat Nintendo like a middleman, they lost. Anyway, let me keep going. It says here, as reported by the Florian Mueller, the Taiwanese regulator is the latest to clear the Microsoft 68.7 billion purchase. While the FTC is still against the transactions, most of the world's countries have taken clear stance supporting Microsoft in this endeavor. The gaming giant hopes the purchase will open new opportunities for both Xbox and Activision. Through close partnerships, both companies will be able to cultivate growth progression in the gaming industry. Microsoft has also collaborated with Ubisoft, handing over the cloud streaming rights to the French company, minimizing the CMA's concern. And it says, we are looking forward to Microsoft official announcement later this week. Currently, the deal has a deadline of October 18th, and then October the 18th is the deadline, and then Spider-Man 2 comes out on the 20th. But anyway, reliable sources have suggested that Microsoft will be able to make an announcement before this date. We hope this move will prove to be a positive influence on the gaming industry, improving Microsoft's first-party lineup and leading to more competition among console manufacturers. And then it says here, under Xbox, Activision Blizzard will continue to bring new experience through its trademark franchise like Call of Duty, Diablo, and more. Microsoft Technologies will also ensure these IP remain at the forefront of gaming innovation. That's it. Yeah, October the 18th. About 9 more days. But other than that, man, Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard doesn't stop competition, you know, because game studios are being formed every day, you know. So yeah, and video games now are getting more detail, more demand, or should I say even more expensive to make now. So yeah, they're getting up there. So yeah, the game industry will continue to move on. Cloud gaming is just about infrastructure. That's all it is. You know? And Nintendo should have taken this serious from day one, and Sony should have taken this serious from day one. Okay, yeah. The truth of the matter is this, you know. Look, once Facebook name was mentioned in this whole situation, Microsoft moved on it. They didn't hesitate. You know, they caught everybody sleeping, like a stealth attack. Done. So yeah, the game industry will continue to grow, man, and continue to move on. You know, it's just we're in a different time now, and changes need to be made. You know, and Sony and Nintendo should have taken video games more seriously. You know, it's not just about sales and exclusive. You know, you got to have an infrastructure in place, meaning network, meaning in cloud gaming. They should have taken that serious from day one. To me Nintendo should have taken video games serious from day one. Since Nintendo should have taken online gaming very serious and cloud gaming seriously since day one. Since the X-band modem days, they should have taken that seriously, but they didn't. Okay. Once Microsoft came in, so Sony should have done the same thing. You know, from day one, take video games more seriously. You know, you got 7 billion people, 7 to 8 billion people on Earth. Okay, you need a network with an infrastructure, and you need to support cloud gaming. So Sony and Nintendo, those two should have taken video games more seriously. Once Microsoft came into video games, they already had the infrastructure in place, because Xbox is just running off Windows network. Period. They already had the infrastructure in place. So all they had to do now was just build a console and get some games and keep the ball moving. Yeah. So man, this is all about cloud gaming is all about infrastructure, man. And to me, Nintendo and Sony should have taken it more serious. You know, because when people were getting on them about online play since the Super Nintendo days, but like, okay. Microsoft came in with an infrastructure in place. Okay, we need a console. Okay, fine. We need a game. Okay, Halo. let's build a user base. Okay, all right. Our user base is getting bigger. All right. Okay, we gotta get online play in now. They brought Xbox Live in when Halo 2. Yep, and Halo 2 was too big for the original Xbox. So yeah, Microsoft already had it. So this whole cloud gaming situation though is all about infrastructure, and to me, Sony and Nintendo should have taken this more seriously. Yeah, but other than that, man, this deal needs to be closed, and the game industry got to move on. CMA, FTC, they weren't prepared for this. They weren't ready for this. They weren't prepared for this, and yeah, because all Microsoft did was bought Activision Blizzard. And they try to come up with a fake story talking about the lesson of competition. That don't stop nothing. I mean, you had Sony buying studios while this case was happening. You bought Bungie, you bought a couple other studios, so doesn't stop? It doesn't stop competition. It really doesn't. So, yeah. But other than that, man, the game industry has to grow. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy with the article. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Dark Side. I'm gone. Peace.